Guys, in today's video, I'm doing a full in-depth guide on how to play Kai'Sa when it comes down to her passive, all of her abilities and combos, and what you should be doing to utilize Kai'Sa's kit to the fullest. You're gonna learn it all here. So the first thing we're gonna start off with, guys, is the abilities, passives, all that. After that, we're gonna go over the build, and then after the build / runes setup, we're gonna go into some gameplay and break down exactly the decisions I make and how I utilize the combos to the full power. And with that, that's basically how this entire guide will go. There's markers in the video so you could skip to which part you want to go see and where you could go back to and learn. If you want to see more guides like this, if we get this video to 800 likes, I'll do a full in-depth breakdown of how to play Ezreal as well. So that's what you guys got. All right, let's get right on into the guide. All right, guys, this is my first in-depth guide ever, and it's on Kai'Sa. I told you guys if you guys got 500 likes on one of my past Kai'Sa videos that I would do a full in-depth guide telling you guys all my tips and tricks on how to really master this champion. I'm telling you, you will learn something or at least get better at using Kai'Sa's kit when it comes to taking fights, trading in lane, and just having better understanding of how to really use her abilities in general, because she does have a very interesting kit. So let's get into it. First, we're going to talk about the passive. Her passive basically allows her to evolve her abilities and gives her these plasma stacks. So if you see, if I auto attack this tummy target, if I auto attack them 5 times, there's a little plasma detonation at the end of the 5 auto attacks. Boom. As you can see right there, they explode and does extra damage. Also, like I said, you evolve your abilities. And I've already evolved my abilities. For example, one of the evolved abilities gives me invisibility on my supercharge. If you look at the stats, you could see that your stats get changed once you have the living weapon. It's called the living weapon. So, for example, the supercharge got much more attack speed and grants invisibility, and the living weapon here gives you more attack damage and fires more missiles. So that's something important to know. So that's why every single pro Kai'Sa player always goes a certain build, which I'll explain in the build portion, to get these upgrades as soon as possible, because they're very important for kits. All right, with that, let's get into the first ability. The first ability is one of the most important abilities ever. Let's kill this scuttle really quickly. Anyways, so the first ability sends out little missiles. So if you look right here, I just sent missiles out to all these dummies. It hits anyone. It basically splits the missiles in anything in this range. It'll split it between everything in this range. So I have 3 targets here. The 12 missiles are getting split up. But this actually makes you do less damage. So how do you really want to use the first skill to its maximum damage? This is what I call an isolated Q. Basically, when I say I'm trying to get an isolated Q, this is what it is. It's when you use your skill 1 on one target. Basically, what happens is, instead of all your missiles going to a bunch of different targets, it's being isolated onto one target. All your missiles go onto one target, which allows you to do a bunch of damage. So that's what your key thing is to do. You want to make sure you're always in a situation to where you're hitting your skill 1 on just one target. Obviously, this is going to be very hard to do because people are going to be grouped up a lot, but that's why your main job is to make sure you're hitting your isolated Q always. That's the key of your damage, especially in the early game laning phase. Now, the range of your Q is a little bit longer than an auto attack. So here's your auto attack range, as you can see. And then here is the Q range. It's a little bit bigger. So you can actually Q someone outside of your auto attack range. See, I can't auto attack someone from right here, but I can Q them. So that's something important to know when you want to Q someone from far range. You could Q them outside of your auto attack range. But a nice little tip, guys, which is something that has helped me in my laning phase, is you want to auto attack right before you use your skill 1, because you'll end up landing it a little easier. So you auto attack skill 1. Let's say you're running up to someone, you auto attack skill 1, you'll basically land it 100%. Because there's a lot of times when I used to first play Kai'Sa, I used to use my Q without auto attacking, and I would miss the hero. I would miss the enemy. They would actually be outside of my range, and I would only hit the wave, and it's like I wasted my ability. But that has never happened as long as I auto attack right before I use my skill 1. That is like, please do this. Please do this. This is the one thing you really need to do is auto attack and then use your skill 1 because you'll basically land it 99.9% of the time. And that will help your laning phase significantly. Trust me. Trust me. So like I said, you want to use your isolated Q. You do not want to be in a position between 3 people and use this ability. You want to be on one person and focus him once. All right, enough of that. We're going to go into the second ability, which is basically shooting out a pulse of plasma, basically is what it is. It has a super long range, a super long range. It's not even in my like field of vision, bro. Like that's how long it is. It can literally go anywhere. And what it does is it puts down a stack of two plasma stacks. That is important when it comes down to comboing. This ability has a very long cooldown, guys. So this is another tip that has changed my Kai'Sa game. Do not waste your ability. Do not waste this ability poking in lane. Do not just randomly use it to clear a minion. Don't do that because it's on such a long cooldown. You need it when you fight. If you do not have your W up, you will not do a bunch of damage as you should be. And I'm going to explain it. So let's say you have 2 auto attacks. You can use your plasma and auto attack one more time to use your passive. Your W helps with the passive. What it also does, it helps with just marking an enemy. If you want to mark an enemy to ult in to help your team, that's something you could do. That is something you could do. So you either want to mark an enemy if you want to close the gap into a team fight, or you're going to use it on a target to get plasma stacks to do more damage. Because you need plasma stacks to really use your Kai'Sa passive. All right. Also, when you have 3 auto attacks down, if you use your W, it will proc the passive and do a lot of damage as well. So do not waste this ability. It's on a long cooldown. Do not ever waste it. Do not ever randomly throw it to kill a minion or just use it on a different target. Use it on the target you want to kill. Okay? You do not want to split any of Kai'Sa's damage. All right. With that, let's go into the skill 3. The skill 3 is very versatile, guys. It gives you attack damage. It gives you invulnerability. I mean, not invulnerability. It gives you invisibility, which is very important. And lastly, it gives you speed boost, which is very important. There's many ways you could utilize all this. Having extra attack speed is always great for DPS. Having invisibleness is also very important because you can kite, run away, escape situations you would not be able to escape without it. And that's why it's very important to get the evolution for this. So using the skill 3, I got a supercharge, which basically gave me a bunch of attack speed and invisibility and speed. So let's say I want to run up to this dummy. I'm going to use my skill 3 to close the gap, right? Now, that is one situation where you're going to be using your skill 3 a lot is to close the gap to run up to an enemy. The other reason you're going to use it is to dodge abilities. Now, a great tip for dodging abilities is you're going to run in the direction as you turn invisible and then go the other way. So let's say I'm going to kite left, use my skill 3 and go up. So watch this. Boom. That is literally the perfect way of doing it. You want to literally look as if you're going in that way and switch. Do not go like this. Don't go invisible and go that way. You want to go down and then switch. You want to go down, then switch. Go down, then switch up, okay? Do not go like this. You're not gonna outsmart them. You need to go the direction you want to go, the opposite direction you want to go, and then make the switcheroo on them. And that will work, and you will outplay your enemy. That is very important to know. Also, if you're in a situation where you stasis, you want to be spamming your skill 3, use your invisibility, and get out. It's very important to use your invisibility to escape areas sometimes. That's something where it could be really important to use. So other than that, that's basically all the usages for it. Also, just it gives you a bunch of DPS. Now, the last ability, one of the most important abilities of Kai'Sa's kit, especially since it got nerfed, it has a longer cooldown, so it's super important that you use it when you really have to use it. So when you mark an enemy, you can TP. You can basically dash anywhere in this circle. Anywhere in this circle of the plasma you could go to. Now, before, I used to never know this. do not auto aim your ult, because if you auto aim your ult, you're not in control of where you're gonna go. So it's very important to be in control of where you want to teleport to. It's very crucial. I'm gonna explain why it's very crucial a little later on. So, like I said, this is basically all the abilities explained. Now we're going to go a little bit more in depth about when it comes to team fighting and cool things you can do, okay? So let's first talk about a standard trade you're going to take. A standard trade you're going to take, you want to auto cancel all your abilities. So what this looks like is you auto attack, use your ability right away. So auto attack, use your ability, auto attack. With your W, auto attack, use your W, auto attack. Auto attack, use your skill 3, auto attack again. With your ultimate, you could do this as well. Auto attack, ult. Boom. Did you guys see that? Look how fast you auto attack when you do that. That's very important to do. You use your ult as an auto attack reset in a 1v1. That's very important where you need this, where you need to reset your auto attack. So you auto attack ult, boom. Auto attack ult. Auto attack ult. You could just practice this. And this is actually won me a 1v1. I was on 1 HP. Just because I was able to get an extra auto in from my ultimate reset, I was able to live the situation. So make sure you auto attack cancel all your abilities. It will change your life because you'll be doing a lot more damage than normal. Okay, so make sure you auto attack, use an ability, auto attack. Do not ever use an ability and auto attack. So what you will always do, auto attack, use an ability, auto attack. Okay, now let's talk about a standard trade you're gonna take with your Q and W. So you're gonna auto attack, use your skill 1, auto attack, use your W, auto attack. So auto attack, skill 1, auto attack, W, auto attack. Basically, you basically get so much damage down in this. This is the thing you're going to be trading with a lot. Let's say someone engages on you, auto attack, skill 1, auto attack, W, auto attack. Boom. Boom. Very fast, very fast. You could also throw your skill 3 at the end or a little earlier before you use your W. You can use your skill 2. So that's one of the standard trades. But usually on one target, you want to use your skill 1 and skill 2 on one target. You always want to be using it on one target at all times. You don't want to use your isolated Q and then throw your W to a different target. You do not want to do that at all. All right. Another important thing to note is when you're using your ultimate on someone, you want to ult in, use your W right away. Sometimes you could auto attack first and then use your W, but it depends. Like if they're low and they could die from your W, use your W right away. Do not be afraid to use it. But if they're not low, then you could auto attack and use your W. But the nice thing is if you use your W right away, it's a lower chance that they could actually dodge it. That's the thing. So you might lose out on an auto attack, but you would land your W. So you really want to TP on top of them so you could auto aim your W without it missing. That is something very crucial. So make sure when you TP in, you have when you dash in, you have your W up to use it right away if it is up. You want to make sure you do that a lot. Another interesting thing that you could do with Kai'Sa in team fights is you could actually ult over walls. And a more better way to show this is if I put a dummy right here. For example, I can go over this wall. This could really outplay an opponent. Look at this. I'm going through so many walls right now with just one area right here. So look at opportunities. Let's say you need to run away from an enemy. Boom, you just ult over. Like they're chasing you. I'm outies. Simple. That is very crucial. Another thing you need to look out for with your ultimate, guys, is how you really utilize it in team fight. You do not want to ult into center here and use your Q. You want to always look for a way. So let's say I want to ult in here. I'm going to ult all the way over here so I get an isolated Q down. You want to ult so you could isolate one target. You want to focus. Kai'Sa wants to focus on one target at a time. She's not like champions that hit a bunch of people like Jinx. Jinx is going to hit all different bunch of people with her rockets and auto attacks, right? But you're not playing Jinx. You're playing Kai'Sa. You want to single out on one player. So when you're in a team fight, I want to go on this back line. I'm going to ult right here. Because if I end up ulting right here, I'm going to split my damage between both these dummies. And you don't want to do that. You want to ult in on one person and focus them only. That is super crucial when it comes down to that. Also, I mean, you could ult flash away. There's many things you could utilize your ult to do. It's all situational. You could also, let's say you're low, you could ult in, and let's say you're in deep, you could just stasis right away. You could also auto attack stasis one of your auto attacks. So let's say you want to auto attack stasis, you could do that really efficiently. Boom, boom. As you can see, very simple. So yeah, these are all the core things you need to know on Kai'Sa, and I promise you, the best takeaway from this is to make sure you are isolating one target down. Really make sure of that. So with that, we're gonna go break down the build / runes you should be using, and then we're gonna go into the gameplay. Alright guys, we're now gonna talk about how you should build Kai'Sa to get the maximum performance from the champion. So let's break it down. You're gonna load into the game and you're gonna start off with a longsword. Now, there is 2 different ways to get your skill 1 evolution. The first one is the one you should try to go every single game, which is you're going to build longsword. You're going to build this longsword into a BF sword. Once you get the BF sword, you're going to want to get this scepter and then an extra longsword. So that is what you want to build to get your skill 1 evolution. Now, there's another way you could get the skill 1 evolution. So let's say you're against a healing type of composition. Let's say you're against Mundo, Sona, things of that nature that heals a lot. Instead of getting the scepter, you can actually go Executioner's Calling and get the skill 1 upgrade evolution fast as well. Those are the 2 possible paths that you can do to get your skill 1 evolution. It's pretty simple. Now, once you have this, you're going to start building the items you need to build into the BF sword. So, I mean, into the Blade of the Rune King. So you're going to get the recurved bow. Then both of these will be built into the Blade of the Rune King. So once you get at this stage, there's 2 pathways you can go. You can actually build into the recurved bow right away after you get your boots, and you will get the skill 3 evolution. All you got to do to get the skill 3 evolution is literally buy another recurved bow, and you'll get it. So just buy a recurved bow and you'll get your skill 3 evolution and whatever. So once you get at this point, you're gonna build into the Infinity Edge. So here you're gonna build that BF sword into the Infinity Edge, and then you're probably gonna go get your boots into stasis, and you're gonna be at this stage, and this is a pretty great stage. Next, you're gonna want to build into the Runon's Hurricane, and honestly, you just build into it. This will turn into the Runon's Hurricane. So once you're at this stage, I like taking the longsword and building it into the GA as a great defense item. And then lastly, you round it off with the Mortal Reminder. So this is the best way to build Kai'Sa. And yeah, it's the best way to build Kai'Sa currently, and you should do that in all your ranked games. For the runes, you're going to want to go Conqueror, Brutal, Hunter Titan, and Sweet Tooth. We're going to talk about what else you could potentially do if you want. It depends, switch situational. I like to go Hunter Titan, or you could go Spirit Walker. You could even run Loyalty, but I would recommend either of these 3 is good. It just really depends. If you're against a lot of charms, stuns, and things like that, run Tenacity. If they don't have much of that, you wanna run a more defensive rune, you could also go Loyalty, but I really like Hunter Titan. And lastly, for this, honestly, you could even run Mastermind if you want to do more damage to just objectives in general. You could do this honestly on any ADC, but I recommend you just run the Sweet Tooth because you're gonna probably get bullied in the laning phase. For the spells, you're gonna want to run Barrier and Flash. And let's say you want to run something else, you could also go Heal instead. You will either be running Heal or Barrier, nothing else. Alright guys, with that, we broke down what you should be building / running with Kai'Sa. Let's get into some gameplay clips so you can really see and understand how to play Kai'Sa. Alright guys, in the first clip, we're going to be breaking down how to lane with Kai'Sa. So, like I said in the ability breakdown, and one of the combos is you want to auto attack and then use your Q. So in this gameplay, you're going to be seeing me do this a lot. Sadly, it's very hard to get an isolated Q in the lane because of the minions. So just watch. I'm looking for an opportunity to auto attack Xayah and then use it. Right there, boom, I did it. I auto attacked and used my Q. Major damage right there. Major damage. You're gonna continuously see me do this, and you can see me positioning in the bottom side of the lane. Watch this auto attack Q again. You're gonna continuously see this, but I'm staying down below because Galio's on the top. I kind of want to stay away from Galio. So right there, I use my skill 3 to close the gap, and look, I just keep auto attack Qing. That is so crucial to do. Sadly, I wasn't able to get one more auto attack to proc the passive of Kai'Sa, because then the Xayah would have taken a lot of damage. But you could just watch me rinse repeating. Right there, I did miss. Right there, I wasn't fast with it. I was not fast with it at all. So you can see me rushing up right here. I get 2 autos, use my W, and proc the passive. That's one combo I was talking to you guys about. I just dished out so much major damage there, guys. You always want to be using your abilities on them, guys. Always. You don't want to use your ability too much on the wave unless you're trying to shove. And right here, I use my ability on the wave so I can shove and rotate for the scuttle. Okay, so in this next clip, we're going to be showing how I end up killing Xayah, and the combo I use is the ult W that I told you. That's one of the combos I use to kill Xayah here. But I do it, or I kill one of them right here. So basically, I'm just poking them down here, right? I need to get them low first, and now I'm keeping track. Okay, Xayah's low, but guys, Xayah still has ult. That's very crucial, guys. So when you're going to initiate onto a Xayah, you need to make sure her ultimate's down. So I'm just going to keep the wave in the middle, keep looking for opportunities to get them low. Right here, I'm trying to bait Galio to engage on me. So what I do is I skill 3 towards them, I think, to bait them in. See, yep, right there, Galio engages. Right here, I'm just taking a chill. I'm using everything to focus Galio. Right here, I get an auto attack on Xayah. I'm waiting for Xayah to ult. Then I ult W. Did you guys see that? Ult W auto attack. That is a perfect demonstration of that. You want to ult W right away, get an auto attack, and you will be able to secure your kill as fast as possible. Okay, guys, in this next sequence, in this clip, I'm going to be showing you guys just the QW. So right here, this is a perfect example of showing how you do not want to ult against Xayah. Because I ulted in, I got in a tight spot. But look right here, guys. I barrier, I go on to Galio. But look at what I do to Xayah. I QW. Boom! QW right there. And I end up actually like doing enough damage to kill Xayah in that situation, which is really important. So you always want to QW. It does a major amount of damage. Okay, guys, in this clip, you could see me using my skill 3 as an engage tool, which is something I explained in the ability section of the video. Right here, I Kai'Sa ult to gap close. I land my isolated Q, but Xayah actually uses her ultimate to cancel it. She flashes away. I flash to kill. So the perfect way to use your skill 3 as a gap close. Alright, guys, the last clip we're looking at is a 1v3 situation that you gotta do. And what I do is I scope out the area, I wait out the charm, and what I want to do is I want to use my skill 3 to turn invisible and to get in there secretively and use my skill 1. I auto-tech skill 1. I use my ultimate as a barrier when Katarina's on me. And I just use all my abilities, guys. And look at this. I use my skill 3 before I flash over, so when I flash over, my skill 3 ends. Very calculated. Guys, I hope you guys did enjoy the full in-depth guide. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have any more questions or what other guides you would like to see on different type of ADC champions. But like I said, get 800 likes and the next one will be Ezreal. So I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Make sure to like and subscribe for more in-depth content like this, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.